Hey, hello, my name is Selena.
And my name's Theoni, and you are listening to Piping Hot.
Welcome back to another episode. Unfortunately, this time Theoni and I are in different states, so now we are back to our regular recording.
I know, rip. Although
Yeah.
I will say, I feel a little more like alive than I did when we were recording our last episode. So that's good. But it
Yeah.
is sad that you're not here. It was so nice having you here.
It was so
It
much
really
fun.
was.
I guess I didn't realize how much stuff that we did because I came back home. I landed in Minneapolis on Sunday, and then I unpacked and I took a shower because I'm that kind of person where I have to immediately unpack and get my shit together. And then I took a nap for 4 hours. I was so tired.
Dang.
Yes.
Dude, but no, it's funny because I was telling my roommate the other day, I was like, she was like, oh, what did you guys do together? And I went down our itinerary, and I was like, whoa, we did so much stuff. And it's funny because I remember I even told you this. I was feeling very insecure that we weren't doing enough, or that you were going to be bored, and you were like, Theoni, I'm an introvert. It's fine. But I think that's just me as a person. It's if someone comes to visit me, I want to make it worth their while, especially after everything got canceled. So, but yes. So that's my life. How was your week?
It's been good. It's been really busy. So, coming right off of vacation and jumping back into work and life in general, it's been really crazy, but it's going good. It's really chilly here in Minnesota, which I am so excited for because I love fall. So I'm I don't know. I just love fall, and I'm just really excited.
No, me too. I literally love when it gets chilly out because I also love fall fashion, or when I can bundle up in cute clothes and stuff.
Layers. Layers make a difference.
Love a good layer.
Yes.
Yeah, it does. My week has been busy and chaotic, and I don't even know how I'm functioning right now, to be honest. So let me just tell you about it.
Okay.
Well, you already know part of it.
Okay.
So basically, Monday, I'm ready to go to work. I think it was Monday, or maybe it was Tuesday. I forget what day it was, but I go to turn on my car for work and it's not working. My car won't turn on. I don't have time because I got a call to go to the hospital, and so I had to go do that. And I wasn't able to go or whatever, so I just Ubered and whatever. So I come back and I was like, the car, the lights on the dashboard weren't even turning on. It was dead. And it wasn't dead in the morning. So it was a different situation than it was in the morning. It was really weird. So then my roommate helped me. We tried jumping it with one of those battery packs. We tried jumping it car to car. I replaced the batteries in my key. Nothing. My car was dead. So then I had to pay for a tow truck to bring my car to the dealership, which is $300. And then at the dealership, they had to do the diagnostic test, do all the stuff on it. And then come to find out, my battery was dead, not even able to be jumped, dead. So I had to replace the battery for $500.
Oh my gosh.
And I literally want to throw up because I need that money for my shopping habits. But the thing is that luckily they had the battery in stock, and they were able to get my car in right away the next day. So I was only really without a car for 2 days. Okay. So, and luckily it was an easy fix because it could have been a lot worse. Yeah. But then this is what I didn't tell you. So then on, I think it was Thursday night, you've come up to my house. It's a very narrow thing, and it's one way, right? Yeah. So there was one lady in front of me driving up, and I was driving behind her. And right as we're going to curve into kind of where that fence is going into my condo thing.
Yep.
She stops, so I stop, and then all of a sudden she starts honking and just reverses and hits my car. She hit my car. Yes, she did. Yes, she did, Selena. And so I took my phone and I took a picture of her license plate. I don't know where she could have driven at that point because of the way we were configured, but I was like, no, I'm getting this information. So then I open my door, and I'm not a very reactive person in the sense where like I feel like I don't get angry, I don't say cocky, whatever. But I had a long week, so I opened the door and she got out and I said, "Are you kidding me?" And then she said, "Are you kidding me?" And she started like getting all mad at me, and I was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa!" And I was like, "What do you mean? Like you backed in my car?" She was like, "Did you not hear me honking?" And I was like, I did hear you honking, but I didn't." Number one, still doesn't give you a right to reverse into me.
Yeah.
Number two, you didn't even give me time to like react or figure out what you needed from me.
Yeah.
You know, because I could have backed up, but I had no idea. And then guess what she says to me?
What?
She said, "Have you been drinking?"
That
and I
bitch.
said, I literally stopped and I said, "No." Like I was like, rah! Like my wrath, I was like, "Rein it in, Theoni, rein it in." Because I was so mad. I was like, how dare you ask me something like that? The problem is I probably did look drunk too, because I had a tight bun in all day and I was in the car and it was like hurting my head. So I took off my took out my bun so my hair was all over. But still, who do you think you are asking me that? I think she knew what she did and she was going to try to find anything that she could to get me out of the situation, rile me up or whatever.
Yep.
So then whatever. So luckily we looked at our cars and mine only had like a tiny scratch, but hers was scratched up. And then of course, as soon as she saw that her car was damaged, she was like, "Oh, I don't need your information." Like blah, like just like playing it off.
Nuh-uh.
And I was like, no, because so she, before we even looked at the car, she was like saying all this stuff to me. And I was like, "You're only saying that because you're going to try to pin this on me right now."
Yeah.
Which you would never, even if she tried to like put that on me, that would never work under any circumstance.
Yeah.
You reversed into me. We were at a stop and you reversed into me. I was sitting there like, this has got to be a joke. So luckily, again, I got up by like the skin of my teeth. It could have been so much worse, but I was still like, I'm ready to like throw out my car at this point. Like it has bad luck. And also, sorry, now I'm just going on a rant.
Yeah.
This is the same car that my dad hit a deer with, okay? And basically had to get it all repaired. This is also the car, you know those toll booths?
Yes.
My dad, one time, he thought he had the iPass in the front of his car, so he thought he was going through one of the iPass lanes.
No.
And so he sped through, but it was one of the ones with the bar.
Shut up.
So it was like in the movies where he sped through it and the like toll booth bar like went flying. And
Oh, this car has a bad omen to it. You need to like cleanse it.
I know.
Holy crap.
I know. So it has like the worst things happen. So I'm like ready to be done with it at this point.
Holy shit. Wait, did you call the cops then eventually, or what happened? Because I wouldn't have let her get away.
Oh, yeah, I did not call the cops. I didn't do anything because my car wasn't damaged. And honestly, like if we go to the cops, we would have to file, insurance would get involved and all this other stuff. And honestly, if my car isn't damaged, you can figure out how to deal with your car now with your stuff. But why would I get my insurance involved when that could potentially make all of that like go up? And, you know, so
that makes sense. I'm just petty that way, and I would have been like, I want to fuck you over because you're rude as hell. Like, karma's
literally.
coming for you, and I will help it like get to you faster. I literally hate people so much. Well, you already know this because I'm a freaking introvert. I just hate people so much.
I know.
And the fact that they have the audacity to do things like that, I'm like, you know what? Okay, I'll play your game. Like, I'm an introvert, but I can meet you too.
Mm-hmm. Yes, no, you can't. So, yeah, literally wrong, Selena. Y'all better watch out because she will come for you. But no, it's true. It's like sometimes I think I let people off too easy, but it's also like I think I had such a chaotic week.
Yeah.
Like everything had been so busy that I was like, you know what? I literally cannot deal with another thing right now.
Yeah.
So selfishly, I was like, no. Now that story's done with, Friday night I went to what is called the Glitter Boys. So it's basically this group of 3 guys, and they like DJ and dance and like whatever, and it's all like 70s, 80s music.
Yeah.
And it was so fun. Like my friends and I dressed up and we danced. And yeah, it was really, really
Did you
fun.
meet the love of your life?
No. I didn't.
Darn. Maybe next weekend.
No, literally. Something's gotta happen soon,
Wait,
because
did you anything with Hinge? Did you delete the app?
Yeah.
You did. I knew it.
You want to know when I deleted it?
Literally like the day that I left.
Yeah. I just hate it. Like, that one guy, what's his name? Maverick.
Yeah.
He messaged me and he was like, oh, and you have a beautiful name.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
And I was like, ugh, I don't know you. Why are you complimenting me? Which is so messed up, because again, I like words of affirmation, but I'm like, oh, I don't want to talk to you like that. Like, I just really think I'm not made for the modern world. I'm not. I straight up am not. I don't know how to function. I don't know how to date. I don't know how to talk to people. What I need is like a man, not that I want to live in the 50s, because that has a whole host of problems. And anyone who says they want to live in the middle of a war is fucking dumb. But like, I need a man who will just like pursue me, and I can like push back a little and he won't give up. But that's also such a double standard. But like, I just.
But okay, but what do you define as pursuing? Because I feel like showering you with
asking
like words
me out on a date.
Okay, I guess.
Sorry. Wow, that was really. I think this is hitting a nerve.
Sorry, I was just curious. Sorry.
You can finish your thought now, since
I'm okay,
I cut
I
you
guess.
off. I'm just kidding. No, what were you gonna say?
I was saying like, okay, well, like how do you define pursuing? Because like sometimes that can be like being flirty and compliments and words of affirmation, and obviously like dating and asking to go on a date. But I think it's just like the definition of pursuing, it can vary to different degrees.
Sure. And I think when you say that in real life, to me, that is pursuing. But I just hate dating apps so much that when I just feel like it's too much of a game for me. Like if that were in real life, I'd be like, oh, he said I had a beautiful whatever. Like, but like in like real life, yeah. But in, what am I saying? Oh my God.
I know what you're saying. I don't know what you're saying. It's been a long ass week.
Very emotionally taxing. These books I'm reading do not give me a break, nor does his fan art on TikTok. Yo, like that fan art of Manon and Dorian. I'm done. I
can't believe she
deceased.
I can't believe she did that and didn't think she'd break the internet. Like, are you kidding me?
He didn't have rings on his fingers.
The fact that you said that to me again and I didn't realize it the first time, I was like, damn, the detail is insane.
You can even see the freaking vein on it. No, okay, that I should have finished that sentence. The vein on his hand.
Not anything else.
Nope.
His hand.
Although I'm nope. Anyways, what are you drinking today?
Today I'm drinking peppermint tea. I didn't have a choice because I was running late, but then Jack made me the tea, so it's really nice.
That's really.
I'm an acts of service girl, so I was like, oh, thanks. So yeah. What about you?
Well, the funny thing is I forgot, and I just realized that right now. But I will say, if I really think I need to hydrate, yo.
Yeah.
But I think if I had a choice of tea right now, I would drink green tea with some honey.
Oh,
that feels like a good move for me. Just imagine it.
Okay.
Imagine the earthy tones and notes of bees. You don't understand. Like, I know I say I'm tired and out of it a lot, but like, I am like really tired.
You should go take a nap after this.
But the thing is, I have to get back to Castile.
Oh my gosh. Okay, wait. That's actually a really good excuse because he is too hot. He's too
so hot. This is a fictional character for those of you who don't know.
Sorry, that must have sounded really weird to some people.
They're like, Dan, they were like, Theoni, do you just have a man to like on standby for you to like go and like whenever you like, no, that is not the life I live. But anyways, so how many pop culture things do you have today? Or not how many, do you have some?
I actually have a lot.
So do I.
Wait, oh my gosh.
The pop culture podcast has pop culture.
Thankfully, because we are a pop culture podcast.
Literally. But I guarantee half of our shit is the same thing.
Yeah, I know it is. That's okay, though.
Yeah.
So my first pop culture item is that the new seasons of The Kardashians has been airing on Hulu. Have you seen the episode?
I have not gotten a chance to watch yet, but I have seen little clips and I heard it's like so intense.
It's so juicy. Like I can't, it's just crazy to me. You have to watch it. Oh my gosh.
Okay, I know I'll eat it up.
Yeah, we find out a lot of stuff of what happened with Tristan and Khloe and kind of how like the end of season 1 ended and how it kind of flows into season 2 directly. It is juicy. It is so juicy.
Oh, yes. I love the juice. No, that's not the words. It has the juice. It has the juice. Can't imagine more beautiful things. Sorry, Kardashians.
The only thing that I will say is that in the first episode of season 2, Khloe does a lot of the like talking to the camera or whatever it's called. She does a lot of that, and she specifically says that like she is really, really anxious about how people are going to react, what they're going to say when they find out that this all comes out, which it did recently earlier this spring when we realized that she was having another baby via surrogate with Tristan. And what broke my heart is that Khloe was saying how everyone would be saying shit about her and that how she's stupid and blah, 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 all this stuff. And I was literally screaming at the TV. I was like, no, honey, we're not mad at you. We're mad at Tristan. No. Okay, you are not dumb.
No, you are not dumb. And also, this wasn't genuinely unavoidable in the sense of the timing of it. Like, that is on him.
No,
and knowing the timing of it is sickening.
No, it is. It's so despicable because in the first episode, it's revealed that Tristan was convincing Khloe and pushing her to do this surrogacy thing, to like have another baby and to make a decision quickly. And I was like, sir, why the hell are you pressuring her to move on this quickly or whatever? And I'm like, it's disgusting because when he was doing that, he already knew he was having another baby with another girl. And that's like where all of the pieces kind of come together for the first episode of season 2. It's literally disgusting. And it makes me sad that Khloe's like, oh, everyone's gonna think of me, everyone's gonna say I'm dumb, I'm stupid, blah, blah. I'm like, no, this is not on you.
This is Tristan.
There's literally footage of Tristan saying that he wants to like be dedicated to her and start a family, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all of those are lies. It's on him because he's freaking trash man.
Literal trash man.
Yes.
Anyways. The worst, truly.
Yeah.
Kind of going along with that, you know what I'm going to say.
I know it.
So I don't know if they are an official couple, but I know everyone is shipping them because I think, was it at the iHeartRadio something? Either way, Khloe Kardashian and Michelle Marone from the infamous 365 Days franchise on Netflix were spotted together, and they posted a picture together. And when I tell you that is one hot couple, I mean that is one hot couple. Like, I hope Tristan is looking at them and is feeling so jealous, as he should.
Yes!
Because Khloe deserves a hot man who's going to cherish her, okay?
Yeah. And he's so hot.
And you know he would cherish you real good. You know it.
We've seen it.
Although I will say when I watched that movie, I had to shut it off.
Really?
It was a little too like, and his voice isn't that like attractive to me. It's a little too high pitched because he's like, "Come here, baby, let me do the blah, blah, blah."
I guess
I'm like, why are you talking that high?
I guess when he speaks in English, but when he speaks a different language, I'm like, okay, keep going.
Oh yeah. But anyways, Khloe and Michelle Marone, if that's how you pronounce it. But yes.
The second thing that we need to discuss that has been taking over literally every single social platform is the Adam Levine drama.
Yes, that was on my list too. I cannot believe it. And the amount of memes that have come out of the like DMs he sent. His DMs are so cringy and disgusting.
Yeah.
And like I feel so bad for like Behati.
Yeah.
Like she is the only victim in this situation.
No, truly.
Like truly, because number one, I know these girls are coming forward and like yes, like expose him, but also especially if you continue talking to him knowing he was married, I think there's blame on both sides.
No,
Adam
I agree.
is to blame as well as the girls for going along with it.
Yes.
Because, you know, like you knew he was married. Like you knew he had, like all of these things. So like you could have shut it down and or just not responded.
Yes.
Which I know sometimes is easier said than done when it's like a guy who's a big celebrity in a position of power. So like I get that dynamic can be like tricky as well, but still. So I just feel bad for Behati and like I hope that she is dealing with this as best she can. But the memes are so funny. I laugh at them every single time, especially the one where he's like, your body is ridiculous or whatever. And then it shows like a picture of the most like funny person. It's so
or it's
funny.
like, it's like, fuck with all of the kids. I'm like, Adam, what are you doing? Like,
oh my gosh, when you said Adam, you reminded me of that Vine where the guy gets hit and he goes, Adam. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do.
Yeah. But I just cannot believe it. Poor Adam Levine has lost his way. He really has lost his way. I used to be so obsessed with him in Maroon 5, but he has just gotten so cocky. Even the way he interacts with his fans is not it.
I don't know. I mean, I appreciated him and Maroon 5 and what they did. And like, I really like their songs, but I just never really liked him. He always kind of gave me like bad vibes, but I just like couldn't place it because I was like, well, he's like a really good singer and he makes all of these really great songs. So I was like, okay, maybe I'll like him or whatever. But it just was never like settled.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
So that's freaking crazy. Okay, I just have to bring this up.
Okay.
The season premiere of Dancing with the Stars happened.
Yes.
And it is honestly like, I haven't seen a cast this good in a very, very long time.
Really?
Like, there are actually some dancers who are really, really good, but also I just feel like the vibes of the cast, the vibes of the show are like back to what I felt when I used to watch the show.
Yeah.
Because I felt like it lost its way for a while. Like the judges I wasn't vibing with, like the pros I wasn't diving with. Like it just wasn't it for me. But it felt like it was going back to its roots a little bit. And I love the host now because Tyra was not it when she was by herself. But the fact that she now has like a co-host with Alfonso Ribeiro, I think is so smart. Like they're really good co-hosts. So I will be watching that every Monday night. Maybe I'll go live on my TikTok and we can watch together. Yeah.
Okay, wait, that just reminded me. Our TikTok on Theoni's page about Throne of Glass and the SJM universe went, like it blew up. And I was so surprised.
I know. I was so happy about it too because I will say there's nothing like the book talk community. Like I love how people are commenting their opinions. Like there's nothing more. I don't care how many likes or comments we get, but I love when people will comment so like we can interact or like whatever. Like it is so funny though because I didn't even notice when we were doing that TikTok how many times we held up Aylin. But then,
really?
But then when everyone commented Aylin supremacy, I was like, oh, we did do that.
Okay, I think that's because I'm an Aylin girl and I'm like
you
biased.
Are such an
so
Aylin girl.
I knew that we were holding her up constantly because I'm like, well, yeah, because she freaking rocks. Like,
but yeah, so that was a fun little moment from our trip.
It was.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, that was a sidetrack.
No, but I'm done. I mean, Dance with the Stars premiere. Go watch it. It's a really good season, y'all. Okay.
Okay, so my next pop culture item is that Don't Worry Darling premiered in theaters last Friday, September 23rd. I haven't seen it yet, but I've actually heard that it's good. Though the ending is a hit or miss for a couple of people. But overall, I've heard like positive things. So I'm like really intrigued now.
I've heard really positive things too. I should have sent you the TikTok, but this one girl on TikTok posted like how brilliant she thought it is. And when she kind of explained like the underlying meanings of everything, it was actually really, really like thought provoking. So I think the more that you like go watch it, but then also read up on it
Yeah.
because I think the more you get to like the underlying meaning of it, the better it gets.
Yeah, the analysis of it. Okay, cool.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I might go watch it this weekend, but I definitely want to see it eventually.
Okay, my next thing. I don't know if you saw. I think this just came out today.
Okay.
We have a Super Bowl halftime performer.
I did not see this, but I did see rumors. Who is it?
Rihanna.
Shut the fuck! No, it's not!
Rihanna.
No, it's
Yes,
not!
it is.
No, it's not, Theoni!
It is
No,
freaking
it's
Rihanna.
not! Don't
Yes,
you
it
dare!
is. I'm
Don't you
not
dare!
I'm not joking. I know.
Shut up!
I know. Literally, like, almost tears. Like,
Shut
I'm so
up.
excited. I know. Her return to music is the Super Bowl
That is
show.
the biggest thing ever of her, like, oh, I'm gonna return to music. Yeah, I'm just gonna do the Super Bowl casually.
Right?
Shut
I know.
up!
I know.
Oh my god, I'm so excited.
I know. Me
Wait,
too.
does that mean we're gonna get new music between then and now?
I'm kind of hoping. Oh my god. I know. Full body chills. Full
Girlie
body chills.
has a busy year, okay? She was
She
just a mama,
does.
and now she's gonna do a Super Bowl. Oh my gosh.
And you know she's going to kill it.
Yeah.
I mean, she has almost 2 decades of music at this point.
Yes.
She is going to crush it. Like, I am so pleased. And I'm so curious if she will bring in like any like special guests
Yeah.
or whatever. And if she does, who it'll be.
Not Drake.
Oh my god.
Not Drake. I can tell you that
No.
right now.
that is a definite no. Because she really hasn't collabed with a lot of unless she brings out like a DJ Khaled and
Yeah.
Amigos for like
That'd be fun.
that would be so
Yeah.
fun.
Who is her baby daddy again? ASAP.
Rocky.
Okay, thank you. There's
Are there more ASAPs?
yes, there is so many other ASAPs.
Who's the other ASAPs?
Like ASAP Ferg and like ASAP whatever else. I don't know. There's like this whole
So there's 2 ASAPs.
no, there's like this whole group of different ASAPs. Have you never heard of this?
no.
Wait,
I know. No, literally. Do I live under a rock?
I don't know,
The
because
heck?
remember-
Do you think there's a list of ASAPs
Yes,
on the?
yes, because
Okay.
remember, I think it was like ASAP Ferg who performed at Spring Jam for us. Remember at the U, and I thought it was ASAP Rocky, but I was
when
dumb, and it was ASAP Ferg.
There's an ASAP mob,
Yes,
a hip hop collective.
yes, that is what I'm talking
Oh
about.
my, there's so many ASAPs.
Right?
Wow. ASAP Rocky, ASAP Ferg, ASAP Ann, ASAP William Andrew Simon what?
Yeah, that's why I said I was like ASAP who?
Wait, ASAP Lou Banga? Isn't that the guy who sings Mambo Number 5?
Oh, I have no clue.
Nope, that's Lou Bega. Anyways. So anyways, now I am introduced to the world of ASAPs, and I'm very excited.
So maybe
yeah.
she'll bring on ASAP Rocky, but I don't know. I don't think they have a song together.
No, they don't.
Okay. Well, you know what? There's time to release a song. So
Yeah, there is. They would make one good song together.
They would.
really would.
They.
Yeah.
Wow! I'm excited. Holy crap! She's gonna
I
kill
know.
it. She's gonna freaking
She's
kill it.
literally gonna kill it.
My next thing is music-wise. 2 things
Okay.
for music. Joshua Bassett released his new EP on September 23rd, last Friday. I haven't listened to it yet because I'm still salty at him, but I can say that I am very excited for him, and I've heard that this is the last EP that he'll release before his full studio album.
No,
which,
he's straight up.
which you
no,
literally
before-
mentioned before this podcast episode.
Literally before we like started recording, I was
Yeah.
telling Selena, I was like, if I get one more EP from this man, then I'm done. Like, I need a full length, thought out album
Yes.
with the like. Give me a story, Joshua. I
Yeah.
know you can do it.
Yeah, so it's rumored that this is going to be the last one before his full studio album is released, which I'm very, very excited. But I'm excited to listen to his EP because I really, really liked his other one that he released before.
Same.
And then album-wise, Fletcher released her new album. And
What do you think?
it is so good. It's
Okay,
so
I'll have
good.
to go listen to it.
I have to send you one of my favorite songs.
Yeah.
And it's just, oh my God, I just like
What's
needed.
your favorite song?
It's called Serial Heartbreaker, and it's like
Ooh,
it's like
spice.
such like Marina and the Diamonds vibe. Like I feel like she takes a lot of inspiration from her for this album that she made. I was like so excited about her album because again, she's the kind of person too who only released EPs or only released singles, and now this is finally her freaking full album, and I'm so excited.
Okay, I gotta go listen to it because
Yeah.
she writes so many bops.
Oh, really?
Like, she really does.
Yeah.
She's fantastic. Very underrated
Yes,
as well.
I agree.
Okay, the last thing I have for pop culture.
Okay.
We finally got a trailer for the Netflix show Dead to Me, which they have not had another season in 2 years. And
Yeah.
the third will be the final season. But
What?
I am really... Yeah, it's only a 3-season show.
Why? What?
Because they're dumb. But I am very, very excited for it.
Okay.
Because I love that show.
That show is so underrated, and more people need to be talking about it.
No, literally, it is so underrated. And the cast, oh,
So
James
good.
Marsden.
James Marsden. We know you love your James Marsden.
I sure do. But yes, I'm very, very excited for that.
No, because season 1 was so solid. And then I was a little
Yes.
nervous about season 2 because again, I feel like even with books or like movies, like sequels are always kind of really hard to nail. Season
Yes.
2 was so good.
So good.
Yeah. So I'm very excited for season 3.
Same. Wow. Wow. Okay, great. What else do you got?
Okay, I have a couple other things. So the other thing that's kind of been taking over my For You page on TikTok is the Julia Michaels and JP Sachs drama. Have you heard about that?
No.
Oh my God. It is so juicy. So you know that they dated, right?
I thought they were married.
Oh my gosh. No, they dated.
Okay.
So they dated for about 3-ish years and they have recently like broken up. But now, obviously, if you don't know who Julia Michaels and JP Sachs are, they are some of these like the biggest songwriters in the world. They are probably behind most of your favorite songs. And so
you wouldn't know it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so they have a way with words, a way with melodies, and it's literally mind-blowing. So they have both been teasing music and posting stuff on Instagram and TikTok about their relationship. And it's insane because everyone is piecing it all together. It's like he would post something and then Julia would post something. And it's just like this really like kind of low-key back and forth that it's like obviously everyone knew that they dated and they're like kind of posting back and forth, but all the fans are like piecing the things of like what happened and like their fallout and stuff. It's crazy.
That is literally crazy.
Yeah. It sounds like, from what I have heard, it sounds like JP fucked up.
Okay, which
Yeah.
classic. But
Are you surprised?
no, not at all.
So I'm very excited. I don't know when these songs are going to be released, if they're going to have their own albums, but like whatever they're teasing now has been so juicy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll have to look into that because I know I'll love it.
Yes. My other pop culture thing is that the trailer for Selena Gomez's new documentary dropped.
Yes.
And it looks so good. I think what I'm blown away is that the director followed her for 6 years to make this.
Wow.
So we're going to get so much stuff.
I am very, very excited because I genuinely feel like her documentary will be so... like, it'll be so important because you know how
Yeah.
involved she is in like destigmatizing mental health and like
Yeah.
sharing her own mental health issues, but in a way that's not performative, in a very like
Yes.
honest, like subtle way, which I appreciate. So I'm really curious what take the documentary will be. Like, will it be more focused on like her mental health? Will it be her whole life in general? Which
Yeah.
obviously those things go hand in hand, but like, I'm just curious what it'll be like, but I'm very excited for it
I
too.
am so excited because I think Selena is very, very private. Like, yeah, she's on TikTok. Yeah, she's on Instagram, but she never acknowledges anything. Like, she lives in her own little bubble, and like, good for her. Like, she deserves it at this point. But I'm just so intrigued because now we're going to see the behind the scenes of everything that's happened and everything that we've seen now from her perspective. But yeah, that was all the pop culture things that I had.
We had a lot of pop culture.
Yeah, this week was like crazy.
I know. Okay, but let's dive right into our topic of the week
Yes.
then. So Selena and I we actually decided on a topic, no need to worry, but we decided to watch the Netflix movie Do Revenge, starring Camila Mendes and Maya Hawke.
Yes.
So it's like been the number one Netflix movie. Like, I'm just going to give my overall thought first.
Okay.
I really, really liked it.
Okay. Yeah.
A lot.
I figured.
Like, I think because it was so reminiscent of like the old, and they did this on purpose, but it was very reminiscent of the old like early 2000s movies and like things like that. And I thought it was really good. The dialogue, honestly, as we'll go through it, I'll note some of the moments I really like, but there were so many moments that I like genuinely laughed out loud with. Like, I remember my roommate came downstairs because I watched it this morning because I was a little behind on my stuff, but she literally was like, I can hear you like laughing out loud because some of the dialogue was so quick and so funny that I like literally could not help myself but laugh.
My overall thoughts, I was very pleasantly surprised by it. I'll be honest that when I started the movie, I was like, oh, this is not for me. And then as the movie kept going, I was like, wait a second, it's actually kind of good. And then as a whole, after I was like done watching it, I really, really liked it. I was very impressed.
Same. I was very impressed too. And like, we'll talk more about like the plot later, but I just think it was really well done for what they were going for.
Yes. And I think I've said this before too, but when movies are like campy or they're like a little cringe or they're leaning into like the Gen Z slang or whatever, I need them to do it fully. And I think this movie did it just right.
Agreed. For me, it was like very reminiscent of like Mean Girls. Like, it was almost like the Mean Girls of today's day and age. You know what I mean? And there's certain scenes I'll talk about that especially remind me of that. But like, yeah, it was really, really good.
I agree.
The first thing that I noticed that I really liked was like the voiceover throughout, which again was reminiscent of Mean Girls. I thought that was so interesting, but also so funny. A lot of my notes, honestly, are just my reactions to certain dialogue because I thought it was so funny. Like these two characters looking at Drea, who's the main character, like she said, why is it your first instinct to light people's hair on fire? And like things like that. I was like, it's so funny to me. Oh, another thing that was reminiscent to me of the early 2000s, the music throughout, there was some modern stuff in there too, but the soundtrack slaps.
It was so good. I was so surprised about the soundtrack. I was like, damn, whoever is doing the music for this movie nailed it.
They knew what they were doing.
Yes, I agree.
Yes. I immediately liked Drea's character a lot. It's interesting, before they had their like revenge plan, she already was doing this stuff, which I guess was kind of the plot of the movie. But like with that one girl at the party where she was like, and she's donating her whole wardrobe to Salvation Army. I was like, how do you even think to do that? I thought it was so funny.
I thought that was so savage, but clever.
It was.
Because I was like,
so savage.
I was like, you're going to go to Salvation Army and you're going to take her whole closet. Like,
yes. She was like, no, you're not getting me.
Yeah.
Okay. What did you think of the main guy that they cast?
So I like understand that there has to be like this main heartthrob, right? Like it's like the one that everyone is pining for or whatever. But like I didn't find him attractive. And also I didn't really think his acting was that great either. It was like very mediocre for me. I just like didn't really love him. And it just makes me really hard to believe that women would be throwing themselves over this just like man child. Like,
that's what I mean. Like, there was nothing commanding about his presence in this movie, which is interesting because Austin Abrams, he did a movie with Lily Reinhart, who is co-stars with Camila Mendes in Riverdale. And he was really, really good in that movie. So, but he also played a more brooding, like awkward, like character from what I remember. So like, I think that makes a lot more sense for him than like the cool, like ruler of the school.
Yeah,
vibe.
like outgoing, cool guy, like that kind of vibe. Yeah, no, I agree.
He was really gross. Like in the car together after the party when he was like, you want to come and play quick? Like, why are you saying that?
Okay, so that was the beginning of the movie where I was like, oh, I don't think this movie's for me. Like, I was like, oh, I don't know. But yeah, that was weird.
And then she actually made the video and he said, I love you. I was like, girl, how do you not know he's playing games with you?
Yeah.
Like, to us watching, it was so clear. I was like, this is not going to end well.
Yeah, no, I agree. And also, I knew from the very beginning that he leaked the video anyways, because he's slimy that. He's so slimy.
100%. That was not a plot twist for me.
Yeah, no. And I was just like, well, how does everyone freaking believe it? Like, it's just so annoying.
Her friends are horrible.
Yeah.
Like, the friends that she had, like, what was her name? I don't even remember half of the names of the characters in this movie, which is bad, because I really liked it. But her main character, played by Alicia Bowe, who is in 13 Reasons Why, she called her on the phone and was like, I need the summer to process what happened. I was like, you need the summer to process what happened? It wasn't your sex tape that got leaked.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
You didn't have your privacy invaded. Like, what do you need time to think about? Like, it was just so, and also too, it really pissed me off that, like, the main guy, the whole movie, it framed him as the victim. And including that conversation that he has with Maya Hawke's character, which we'll get to, but the whole entire movie, it was just him being the victim. Like, if I could run away from all of this, I would. And I just want to, there's too much pressure and blah, blah. I'm like, just shut the fuck up. Like,
but I think that was the point.
Yeah.
Because it shows how he plays the game and, like, how people get away with the stuff they do.
No, truly.
I just have to mention some of the dialogue. During one of the voiceovers, she said, I flew too close to the sun, so my boyfriend released my sex tape. Yeah. And she said it so matter of fact that I was like, that logic makes sense, clearly.
Yeah.
Like, well, what are you talking about?
Yeah. I thought it was really funny.
Yeah. And then I love that they played Brutal by Olivia Rodrigo. This is what I mean, that they did the perfect mix of, like, the old vibe of, like, the early 2000s with, like, making it current. Like, it was so good.
It was such a good mix. It's what Persuasion should have been, but it wasn't.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a good point.
Right? Because Persuasion was, like, more modern. Remember, the fourth wall was broken, but it was still classic.
See, I blocked that from my memory.
But Do Revenge, I feel like, had a really perfect mix of, like, blending this, like, Gen Z kind of 2020 era style with the early 2000s, and it was just perfect.
What did you think of Sophie Turner?
Oh my gosh. I didn't know she was in this movie, and it was so funny. I was like, Sophie, what are you doing? And I know her from Game of Thrones, so I was like, Queen of the North, why are you in a psych ward? Like, I was like, what are you doing here? I thought it was really funny. Like, again, I didn't know that she was in this movie.
I know, but I thought she did so funny, like when she was like, I don't do cocaine. Like, I just thought it was really funny. And I never saw Sophie Turner in Game of Thrones, but I remember I saw her in, I think it was called Dawn of the Phoenix, where she played Jean Grey. And I thought her acting was very subpar. So I like seeing her do something different. And I thought she did a good job. Yeah. And I thought it was really funny.
No, I agree, because in Game of Thrones too, she's kind of very, like, subdued, like she's like a lady and she has to have her emotions kept and all that other stuff. And so seeing her, like, scream in this movie was so funny.
What did you think of the scene in the car when they, like, first became friends? What is so I know it's Drea and
Eleanor.
Yes, Drea and Eleanor. Yeah. When they screamed in the car, I thought that was so funny.
I thought that was funny too, but it was so relatable though. Because it's like, I remember in high school where we used to just drive around because there was nothing to do in our fucking town. We used to just drive around.
I mean, we're from Wisconsin and Minnesota,
I know.
so let's
really
talk about
nothing.
Minnesota? What state is Minnesota? I meant Minnesota. Anyways.
So we used to just drive around because there was nothing to do. And while we didn't scream, we were, like, singing and blasting music. And so a part of me, like, really related to that of just, like, driving and just get your feelings out. Just kind of, like, get lost in the moment and just drive for hours. And I really love that because I feel like Drea's character needed that in the moment.
100%. I love their friendship right away, which it felt so natural. And, like, Eleanor's dialogue was really funny and really quick. Like, she said, you look like you need a grilled cheese and, like, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then I was so pissed when we find out that, of course, her ex-best friend was dating her ex-boyfriend. I was like, of course. Like, it's such a stupid...
You're talking about Drea, right?
Yeah.
I was pissed more when her ex-best friend was like, oh, you didn't know? Or like, you didn't
because you needed your
hear?
space over the summer.
Yeah, I was like, fuck you. And then Drea, as she was, played it off. And she's like, oh, yeah. Like, of course I knew. Like, it's totally fine. But I'm like, no, she didn't know. She was at tennis camp.
The name of the club that he made.
Okay, wait, that was really funny, though.
I
That
was
really funny.
like actually wheezing. The cis hetero man championing female identifying people club or whatever it was called, something like that.
Like,
but I was dying. Like, I thought it was so funny.
At that point, you should just admit that you hate women. Like, it's not that
Literally.
hard. You don't have to
what do
hide
you
it behind all those words. Like,
Cis hetero female,
like
whatever.
what? Yeah. It was so funny, though.
It's so funny. I will have to say, I did really like Drea's outfits throughout the movie. I thought they were so fun.
No, all of the outfits were so good. Especially the one where Eleanor goes to the pool party in her like swimsuit and that cover. I was like,
Yes.
holy crap, that's so cute. Everything was just top tier.
There was one part where Drea first meets Russ or whatever.
Yes.
And one of her, like, the dialogue above, like, you know, it was showing a scene, like the monologue or whatever. It said, our chemistry was incredible. Thank God I was sitting on a towel.
Yes. I remember. That was on the beach.
Lost it.
Yeah.
I laughed so hard. I was like, did I just get that? Like, did she actually just say that? Like,
But it's like, it's so funny though, because it's like some of those like absurd thoughts are the thoughts that we think about.
no, that's what I mean. It's not so absurd, but I was like, you never hear someone put it
Yes.
so bluntly in a movie like that.
Exactly.
Which I thought was so funny.
Yeah, I thought it was very funny.
So then the main guy, what's his name?
I have no
need to know his
clue.
name. I can't get, anyways, who's to say?
Yeah.
The main guy finds Eleanor in the bathroom at this pool party. And
Yeah.
I honestly thought he wasn't going to find her. And then he came back. But he's dumb for that. He's real dumb for that. Like the way that he was like, oh, Eleanor, what are you doing in here? And she lied. And he was like, oh, okay. And then just like made it seem like it was normal. Like that's not normal.
He probably doesn't care. He probably like looks at that and feels flattered that someone would spy on him because he's that a narcissist.
Eleanor and Drea like kind of hatching their plan and like doing all these things. Then they like made the dialogue about the headmaster. They're like, I would want her to do this, this, and this, and do this, and this, you know, talking about the headmaster, which I
Yeah.
thought was so funny because all of us always say like, I would let him run me over with my car and like stuff
Yeah.
like that. Like we are a violent generation. So like hearing
Yeah.
that made me laugh because that's what we say. Like, why do we
Yeah.
say that?
I don't know. Maybe it's the trauma. Like, I don't know.
We are better than a violent generation. We are a traumatized generation.
Yeah, truly. Under all that violence, there's just this really, really thick line of trauma.
You know what I just thought of as we're talking about violence?
What?
Poppy.
Oh my god.
And how Castile's always like, you're so violent.
Okay, wait. Okay, this could be off the record, or you could also just include it. But their banter in the book is so good, and it's the way that he like teases her. It's so hot. And I've
oh my
never
God.
read something like that though, because I feel like it's very different from Reese or Dorian or Rowan.
Oh, it's so different.
It's so different
because it's so blatant.
yes,
The attraction.
yeah, and I'm like living for it. I love it. And I think that's what makes their like tension like so good. Sorry, we're talking about a book. If people
Yeah,
have lost their train of thought, sorry.
Anyways, I was screaming in the assembly when her best friend kept clapping with 2 fingers. I was like, why are you doing that, you petty little prissy little whatever?
You don't.
I was like,
no,
bye.
it's that movie's
stupid.
version of us snapping.
Yeah. Oh, you're right.
Yes, it is. It looks dumb, but I'm like, wait a second. That's what we do. Like, I was like,
Yeah.
oh, wait, just kidding.
Wait, we are yeah. Oh, cringy. Then they all get high off of shrooms the bathroom scene, that was a scene where it was so reminiscent of Mean Girls. Like, you know, when they're like all fighting each other in the hallway and Regina's standing there like watching it all unfold. Like, this scene reminded me of that because like they're in the bathroom like freaking out that their plan worked, and then the way that the girl puked in like the toilet and then the other girl screamed and like, oh my gosh. And then the way he was hiding under the table and she was like, there's spiders on your phone. And he was like, ah, and then threw it. And then of course she took the phone. But I just thought that scene was so funny.
No, I agree. Especially when both Drea and Eleanor like walked on the stage in the middle of the chaos. Very, very reminiscent of Mean Girls. I will say when that scene started, I thought it wasn't going to work because Drea was really anxious. And I was like, Drea, stop being anxious because I'm anxious. Like, it's not going to work. Like, you're not going to, someone's going to catch you before you can put the mushrooms in the like soup or whatever. And I was like very, very anxious. But then when they finally went into the bathroom, I was like, oh, it worked. It worked.
Yeah. Was it just me? Or did you feel tension between Drea and Eleanor when they were laying in bed and she was like comforting her and like holding her and like whatever? I thought they were gonna kiss.
Me too. I thought they were gonna get together, but then
so did I.
But then Drea had the thing with Russ, and then Eleanor had the thing with the guy's little sister or whatever. But I at one point truly I thought they were gonna get together.
So did I. So glad I wasn't the only one that picked up that vibe. Yeah. Then the school article comes out calling the main guy the accidental feminist. I wanted to throw up. I was like, oh my gosh. I hated that. It was funny, but I hated it. No,
I agree. It was funny, but it's shit like this that it's like, that would never happen in real life. And I'm like, no, it definitely does.
It definitely does.
And it looks as stupid as the movie shows it. It's like, what are you talking about? But then everyone's eating it up. And I'm like, really? Whatever.
And then the paint fight with her and Ross, she's like getting out her anger. I'm sorry, that was cute as heck. Like, seeing them fight and like whatever, and then they kiss. And the way he picked her up around his waist, I was like,
that was so hot.
That was hot.
Hot.
It was so hot.
But it was a perfect like romance moment because they were fighting and then they were having fun, and then there was that like little like moment where they were gonna kiss, and then they kissed, and it was literally that sequence was so good. So good. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I ate that up. Then they were doing a self-love palooza for Valentine's Day. Isn't that lovely? God, again, the thing is that would happen in real life, and it makes me sick how stupid we all are sometimes.
I know.
Like me included. But like, as they're at the self-love palooza and they release all the texts that he sent and everything blows up, and like she's just sitting there like, I'm shocked. This is shocking news. Okay. That was so funny.
It was hilarious because she was like sitting there drinking her like little water. She's like, oh, I'm shocked, everyone, I'm so shocked. I didn't see this coming. Like, she was so over the top. I was like, that's amazing. And that would be me in this situation. Like, I'm that petty.
Yeah, that would be you in that situation. Just watching it all unfold and being like, you got what you deserve. The fact that they played it off by him being polyamorous, I was like, I hate the world. That was the moment I realized I hated the world. And then his friend, I forget what his name is, but then he's sitting there talking to all the jocks like, we should be out there eating ass. We should be eating whatever ass we want. I was like, are you?
That is so funny.
Again, so funny, but so absurd, but not that absurd.
No, it's not.
Like, that's why this movie was so brilliant.
Because if someone came out and they're like, oh, I'm poly, everyone would be like, yes, you go. And again, I'm here for the support, and I love that like these things are being destigmatized, which I think is really important. But also when it's used to excuse your really shitty behavior, I'm like, no. And that's,
no,
I feel
absolutely not.
I feel like a lot of those things do happen in real life. That's why I was like, again, it was funny in a way, but also it's like, okay, well, this happens all the time.
And then, of course, the birthday party happens.
Yeah.
And I will have to say this one part. So it was her and Russ like in bed, you know, whatever.
I don't
waiting for the text from Eleanor. Yes. And first of all, he said, "What's going on in that head of yours?" Which is the hottest line ever. Like, I love, like, what's going on? Oh, you want to know what's going on in my head? Okay, I'll tell you. But like, then he went to like go down on her,
yep.
and she's sitting there on her phone and she's making sex noises. And then all of a sudden she goes, "I came. Let's go to the party." I lost it. Like, I actually had to pause the movie and I just laughed so hard because I was like, there is no way that actually just happened.
It was like so obvious that she was faking all of it too, where I was getting like secondhand embarrassment where I was like, you're gonna be caught. Like, Russ knows you're faking it. And I was like, oh my God. It was really funny though.
It was so funny. Oh my gosh. But then of course they go to the party and they have their big blow up fight.
Okay.
Crazy.
In that moment though, Drea looked really bad because Eleanor did tell her about her birthday, and it's kind of that moment where Eleanor is like, oh wow, like these people are my friends and Drea is just using me. But to Drea's defense, I would get that when the other half of the bargain is not fulfilled, yeah, I would be pushy too, because I'm like, if it affects me directly, like I did my part, can you like do yours too?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I part of me like sympathized with both of them at that moment.
So then after the fight, we go back to her talking to Sophie Turner or whatever, and she like wished her the worst.
Yes.
Which I forget, why was she there again?
Because Drea framed her for having coke on her when she was at tennis camp, and she was like, I don't even do coke, but now she is addicted to coke in the psych ward.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
The plot twist happened where Eleanor goes nuts that she was plotting it. They made me the way she was acting and the way the cinematography is, and the scene of her sitting in the bathtub where she like smeared her lipstick, like it gave me chill. I was like, ugh, this is like it turned into a Lifetime movie real fast where I was like, oh, she's gonna go crazy and kill him.
Yeah. I could feel the movie turning at that point, because I was like, wait, there's something more to this that like we didn't get.
So that was crazy.
Wait, question for you. Did you see the plot twist coming?
No.
Oh, okay.
I really didn't, because I felt like something more was going to happen than just them getting their revenge. But I didn't think that she was going to be all behind it. I thought there might have been another key player, which I guess there kind of was. But I thought their friendship was going to like last through it all.
Yes.
Like, I didn't expect her to be behind it all.
I agree, because the thing is that like Eleanor was so genuine, and I think that's what really got us, because I was like, oh, of course, like Eleanor wants to help, like she's like really fun and whatever, but nope.
But then she hit her with her car, and I was like, what?
Yeah, that was psycho behavior.
And she was like, well, I needed them to have a reason to come crawling back to you, and I was like, okay, actually, your logic makes sense.
Yes, really, truly.
Like, okay, fair.
Yeah.
But I was also like, that's what I mean when it turned into a Lifetime movie. Like, that is actually, like, unwell behavior.
Oh,
like,
truly.
You are, like, off the deep end at
yes,
this point.
unhinged.
Then they had the admissions party, which I did not know was going to happen. But that was the craziest thing I've ever seen. They were having a fight club. They were having a seance. I was like, what is happening?
Okay, first of all, though, I thought it was really weird, the loophole of like Drea's ex-best friend being like, just come to like the admissions party, like that's fine.
And she was like, you've always been a bad bitch.
Yeah,
like,
I was
gotta
like,
like show him. I was like, who do you think you are?
Yes,
like, you dated her ex. Like, you played into this. You
abandoned her for the year.
Literally. So I didn't buy that. And then she comes in and she's like, well, this was our spot, but I didn't come because I thought you needed it more. Like, I didn't buy that friendship for a second. I was like, this is still fake.
No, me
this
neither.
Is still so
and
fake.
That was like the only like plot hole that I was like, that that feels really weird. It feels a little too easy to get into this like coveted admissions party that you can only enter with your Ivy admissions letter or whatever. And I'm like, okay, I guess.
Whatever. It was so weird how it played out. I feel like my mind was going in like 500 different directions. At first I was like, oh, they're fighting. But then he comes in doing the slow clap, which was really funny when she was like, did you really just enter doing a slow clap, you piece of shit? Yeah. You know, so that was really funny. Yeah. But like, I bought their fight so much when she smashed the camera. She's like, you know what? I'll do what I need to do to get myself out of this situation, but I'm done playing your games. I was like, good for you, girl. Like, you're done. Smash that camera, whatever.
Wait, no, I thought that fight was real. Like, that was a real fight, and the guy
that's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, that wasn't planned, and he just like ambushed them because he like figured out who Eleanor truly was. I will say the only thing that I'll say about that fight that they had, I felt like they made up a little too quickly.
That's literally was going to be my next point. Like, I feel like, again, it played into the campiness when she was like, I feel like we're toxic soulmates or like whatever. Yes. Like, and they were both like, you know what? We're both like psycho and we both are unhinged. So you know what? We'll forgive each other. I will say I don't think I would ever be able to be friends with someone who
hit me
did something like that to me.
Hit me with my car, threatened my mom.
Yeah, literally. So that would not... I wouldn't be able to get past that personally.
But you do you, boo.
Yeah. But then they they played into it well, yes, I think. I like that they ended up exposing him together.
Yes, I agree.
I mean, whatever. I love the song Praise You by Fatboy Slim, which is the funniest name ever. But I listened to that song still on the regular. So again, when they started playing that, it's a very early 2000s, I think late 90s song. And so when they started playing it, I was like, this is amazing. Yeah. Like, again, the soundtrack just like made the moment so much better. And then I love that the man was the villain at the end. I thought that was so funny. And all the women just like came around him. It was so funny.
I loved it. It was the perfect ending for the piece of shit that he was.
It was. And overall, I mean, that's kind of all I have for the movie. So I'm curious if you have any other thoughts.
No, I said all of my thoughts. I mean, I will say the one thing is that, like, this movie reminds me why I fucking hated high school. Like, I was getting war flashbacks.
Yeah. You're never too young to have a Vietnam flashback.
I was just like, this is dumb. This is so dumb. Why do I even care? But I'm like, oh, but I do care. And I was like, oh, I hate it.
And it's so true because like that's why these movies are always so good, because obviously it's dramatized and high school parties aren't like that a lot of times whatever. The way that people care so much about other people's business and like all of these things, that part is not dramatic. Like people care about the drama. People get involved in stuff that they shouldn't get involved with. Like, people do petty stuff. Yeah. So, like, it's not that far off in that sense.
No, I agree.
That is our take on Do Revenge. Again, overall, I really, really loved it.
Same.
I mean, I would rewatch it because I think it's like, it's one of those movies that I will watch for like a guilty pleasure. Like, I just thought it was really, really good.
I think it's bound to become like a classic.
I think so too. It has that vibe.
Yes. No, it really does.
Selena. Drum roll. What? Why did I just like... Okay. Anyways, what is our topic for next week?
All right, you guys. We do have a topic next week. And
we do have a topic.
We will stick to it. I promise.
We will.
Because Theoni and I will be discussing Joshua Bassett's newest EP, which we talked about during the pop culture segment, called Sad Songs in a Hotel Room or something like that. But yeah, we'll be discussing it similar to the way that we discussed his first EP, which is like our like first episode, which is crazy to think about.
I know.
Yeah.
Ew, I just got chills. That's like a full circle moment.
Yeah, so it's super exciting to like do another EP by him. But I'm really excited. I'm very, very hopeful to listen to these songs and dissect them like we did before. And
even though my love Joshua has betrayed us, I still will listen and love every song, I'm sure. But thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.